I would say to each their own, but, like, no.
Don't do that. But we should probably, like, open with something else.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah. How about hello, welcome back to my aunt's attic.
Welcome back.
So we've talked about it probably 16 times in the last few episodes that we are going to do a trivia quiz on my favorite show, Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Mary Grace's maybe not favorite show, but
It's my
current
favorite.
show. It is your favorite? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So our favorite shows. We're going to see how well we actually know them. I'm
However,
going to dominate, dude.
Yeah,
I say
you
that,
will.
then I'm going to miss everything.
I have not finished my show.
So potential spoilers.
And I have seen the first season probably 4 times. The rest, once.
Well, hopefully this quiz will be in your favor.
How many times have you seen Avatar?
I have lost count. There have been times when I finish the last episode and immediately start the first episode again.
That's actually
And
crazy.
it's just over and over again. I'm currently midway or more than midway through season 1 again for the, however many times it's been. I don't know. But,
Now, when you're rewatching it, are you, like, rewatching it, or do you just, like, have it on the
I'm
background?
rewatching it.
Wow.
I genuinely sit and absorb every moment of that show.
Yeah, I really want to watch Disen-avatar-ment again because, like, from the beginning, because I hear there's a lot of, like, hidden whatever, and, like, you find something new about it every single time you watch it, so I want to rewatch it once I finish it.
Yep. Let's do this. I'm so excited.
Okay.
I'm going to start.
Okay.
Okay, so this is for Mary Grace.
Oh, I'm actually
Disen-avatar-ment.
scared. I might not know anything.
You're going to do
about
so
it.
good. You're going to do so good. Question number 1. What species is Elfo's mother?
And there's I know what the answers
Options are
but what
Trog, ogre, human, elf. This is so funny because I have absolutely no idea what any of this means.
she's an ogre.
Okay, choose that. Correct.
Yes, I do know that one.
Very good, very good. Your turn.
Okay. I don't know how to pronounce these names though. Iroh
Uh-huh.
taught himself to redirect lightning by studying which
Waterbenders.
bending. Okay. Correct. I thought it was incorrect because it's orange, and I was like, ooh, but
Orange. What?
yeah, it said correct, but in orange.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Your turn. Question number 2. Who married...
What?
Who married Satan in the first episode of Part 4, Love is Hell? Oh, Bean, Bunty, Dagmar, Sorcerio?
I think Dagmar. Yeah, I think Dagmar.
Dagmar. Let's see. Correct.
Yes.
Doing so good. See,
It was a
we're
trick.
doing so good.
Bean was supposed to marry him, but she tricked Dagmar's her mom. It's a
Again,
long
this is so
story.
weird because I have absolutely no idea.
You should really watch it. It's really good.
Do I want to? I don't know. I don't know.
I think that you should watch the first episode and then.
Well, by these questions, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, what? I don't know. These are weird. These are weird.
It's a cartoon. It's like an adult cartoon.
Okay.
The humor is really good. But they live in, like, I don't even know what era it is, but, like, they're trolls, they're elves, there's magic. It's that kind of vibe. Like fairy tale.
I'm going Avatar. I think I'll stick with that.
I'm just saying watch the first episode.
So
Okay.
good.
Which of the following was not a member of the White Lotus? Hakoda?
Yes.
That's the answer?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't want to hear the other?
It's gonna be like Boomy,
Mm-hmm.
Iroh,
Mm-hmm.
Piandao,
Mm-hmm.
and did I already say Boomy? I said Boomy.
You said that. Paku?
Oh, Grandpaku!
Paku? And Jongjong?
Oh, Jong. Wait. What? How many?
There's like 5 options. 6 options.
Jong is an option?
Yeah. Which of the following was not a member of the White Lotus?
Oh, Jong.
Hakoda?
Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
Hakoda, Jongjong, Boomy, Piandao.
It's Hakoda.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was getting Jong Jong mixed up with Chet for a second. Chet, not Jet.
Wait,
CH. What?
are you reading these little blurbs? It tells you after you got it correct.
No.
It says Hakoda was for sure a daddy, but not of the White Lotus.
I haven't gotten any of those. I haven't.
What does it say? Just correct?
Yeah. That's so funny. It's true. Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
Hakoda is French
Daddy.
kiss.
French kiss.
Anywho,
I'm getting nervous.
a demon has gone to heaven, but no cat ever has. True or false? What is this show?
Well, I do know that the demon Lucy did go to heaven. I don't know that they said that no cat. I remember the cats being in hell. I'm gonna say true. I might be wrong though.
But no cat has ever been to Okay, true. Okay. Correct.
Wow. Is there a blurb?
No.
Oh, man. You had a blurb last time. I didn't even read it.
Aw. You stink.
I'll read them from now on.
Okay.
What did Sokka see in the swamp? Season 2, Episode 4. Princess Yue?
Yue.
Yue?
Yes.
His mother, Kaya.
No.
His father, Hakoda.
No.
A blind
Yue.
girl with a boar.
No. That Sokka saw Yue. So Yue. Yeah.
Princess Yue?
Yep.
Correct. He saw his beloved girlfriend, the moon. I don't know what that
The
means.
moon spirit. She wasn't the moon. She was the moon spirit. Well, sort of. Anyway.
These
That's actually beautiful.
These shows are like polar opposites. It's so funny.
All right. What tips King Zog... Okay. What tips
King Zog.
Thank you. Into insanity, and what causes him to be sane again?
Wait, before you read it.
Mm-hmm.
He was buried alive, and that's what... But what got him back? The puppet. Read the answers.
Okay. Being buried alive, then taken into Trogtown caused his insanity. Being buried alive and digging himself out with Giggle's grandma's skull turned him sane again.
I don't think so.
What the heck? Finding out Bean had been burned at the stake and burying himself alive caused his insanity. Lucy slapping him, telling him to find your Zen, turned him sane again. I'm not saying
He was buried alive, and that's what did it. But what brought him back? I think it was the one with... Wait, what were the ones about him being buried alive? She's wiping her nose on her blanket.
I'm laughing and my nose is watering. Shut up. Well, this one has two being buried alive.
Yeah, what are those ones?
Being buried alive and then taken into Trogtown caused his insanity, but being buried alive and digging himself out with Giggle's grandma's skull turned him sane again. Or, the second answer is finding out Bean had been burned at the stake and burying himself alive caused his insanity, and Lucy slapping him, telling him to find your Zen caused him sane. Turned him sane.
I might get this wrong, but I think it's the first one when he's taken into Trog, whatever.
Okay.
Buried alive and then taken into Trog.
This is so weird.
Oh
Okay.
no, I'm afraid.
No, it's correct.
Really?
You're good.
Oh shoot.
Correct.
I didn't think I was gonna get that one. It was too complicated.
Okay.
Okay, your turn. What are the names of those two fish again? You know, the moon and the ocean.
Twee and Law.
Twee and La. That's cute.
Push and
Correct.
pull.
Twee and
Yin
La.
and yang.
If only Zhao hadn't killed
Zhao.
those Zhao hadn't killed those fishies, Sokka's first girlfriend may not have turned into the moon. Then again, he wouldn't be with Suki if that. I have to click more. This is so long. He wouldn't be with Suki if that hadn't happened. So never mind.
So, okay, there's a very interesting theory going around about Princess Yue. So, Princess Yue is in the Northern Water Tribe, and when she was born silent and still. She basically had, she was alive, but she basically had no life in her. She wasn't waking up or anything. And the thought process, the theory, is that she was actually supposed to be the next Avatar. But because Aang had been frozen in the iceberg for 100 years, and he had yet not died, and therefore the next Avatar had been born into the next... Wow, I'm totally losing my train of thought. The next nation in the cycle... that she was born without the Avatar spirit that she was supposed to be born with, and therefore she had nothing. But then when they kind of gave her like they put her in the pool, and the moon spirit kind of like put spirit into her that way. Then she was able to wake up and everything. But yeah, she was born without the theory is she was supposed to be the next avatar, and because Aang had not yet died, the avatar spirit hadn't moved on to the next.
Right.
And so I think it's really interesting. I think it's a really, really cool theory, and I really like it because she ended up fulfilling some kind of spiritual destiny as far as becoming the moon spirit. She gave her life to the fish. She gave her life to the moon spirit, and then therefore the moon came back, basically, because Zhao killed the fish, which killed the moon, darkened everything, and blah, blah, blah. Really cool. Very interesting.
That's
Love
cool.
it. Anyway, moving on.
But it also reminds me of H2O, just add water. Because they swim in the pool under the moon, and that's what turns them into mermaids.
Tis true.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. And I actually rewatched it not too long ago.
The whole thing?
The whole thing as an adult, and it was just as good.
I watched maybe like the first season.
I watched the whole thing. So good.
A little bit ago.
So cheesy. So ridiculous. Or
I
nor.
want to be a mermaid. Didn't you want to be a mermaid so bad when you
know
were a
what?
kid?
You know what? I was reading a fan fiction, and I forget what the whole storyline is, but they're having a conversation, and Andrew asks somebody else. He's like, at what point does eating a mermaid go from cannibalism to sushi? Or vice versa. What kind of thought process is that? But seriously, when does it... Is it like a gradual? Is there like a mixing, or is there like a cutoff?
Well, that's hard because I feel like it depends on your depiction of a mermaid. Because I've seen some depictions where like
the scales are like
the scales go
and...
all the way up a little bit, and then they kind of fade into like maybe the shoulders or something.
Then you have the stark.
Or I've just seen like a
human
human-shaped fish with a face, like a human face. But I've also seen like the Little Mermaid has like her little low-rise fin. So in that case, I would say it's the fin.
Do you believe in mermaids? Do you believe in mermaid? Like, I mean, most of the ocean has not been explored.
I don't think so.
I believe in mermaids, but they're more along the lines of what we see in Harry Potter rather than like the Little Mermaid. They're
like
more
ugly.
They're really hideous looking fish-like, but they have more humanness, like arms and face and like that kind of thing.
Maybe,
but they're still very fishy and very. Ugh. All right,
I
next
hate
question.
thinking about that.
Which of these is not a place in Disenchantment? Got a whole list here.
Oh, God.
Maru, Dreamland, Bentwood, Steamland, Twinkletown, The Magical Forest, Dankmire.
Oh, God. Okay, I know which ones are real.
Then you should, by process of elimination.
But there were a few that I wasn't sure.
Do you want me to read them again?
Can I look at it?
Sure.
Maru.
Twinkletown.
F. I feel like Twinkletown because that sounds stupid, but this might be where it all goes
So
wrong.
what are you doing?
Twinkletown.
Incorrect.
Yeah, I
You
figured.
suck.
What is the answer?
Oh, it didn't actually give me the answer.
Oh, great.
Wow, this is dumb.
I'll never know.
Which website are you on?
The same one that you're on.
I don't get it. Why does yours... I don't even know. I'm looking at the answers for the next question. I don't even think I want to read it.
Twinkletown.
Anyway. Get with the program. Watch your show better.
Firebending is based on which type of martial art?
Oh, no.
How Tai Chi, Northern Shaolin Kung Fu,
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Jun Ri Taekwondo, or Hung-Ga Kung Fu.
I think that last one was earthbending. Read the other ones.
How Tai Chi,
That sounds like airbending.
Northern Shaolin Kung Fu,
Okay.
or Jun Ri Taekwondo.
It's one of those two. Read those two again. Northern
Shaolin Kung Fu or Jun Ri Taekwondo.
I watched an entire... Oh, this is so irritating to me because I watched an entire documentary on the creation of it, that how they actually found true masters to come in and demonstrate the different styles of martial arts. So then the artists were literally watching them do their martial arts and be able to illustrate it properly. They really did so much beautiful research behind it. They really respected each of the cultures and each of the martial arts. I'm going to get this wrong. Read them again. The northern...
All of them?
No,
or just the two. Northern Shaolin Kung Fu or Junri Taekwondo.
We're gonna go with Taekwondo. I think that's wrong.
The Junri Taekwondo. Okay. Incorrect.
I knew it. Okay.
It's the Northern Shaolin Kung Fu.
I was split between the two. Darn it! I should have gone with my gut.
Wait. They explained this one in one of these YouTube videos, behind the scene videos from like 2008.
That's what I watched. Yes.
Unless you take one of these martial arts, don't feel bad if you didn't get this one.
I don't. I do actually feel bad because I watched that. It was very, very good. Oh my gosh, people, please watch it because it was so fascinating. It was so good. Oh, all the lengths that they went to, the different studios they worked with to find the different artists. They brought in true... Oh, it was amazing. Anyway, okay. Dang it, I should have gone with my gut. I was really thinking... Darn it! Okay. What does Sagatha ask... Sagatha? I don't know. What does Sagatha ask for more of when she is getting ready to marry Prince Derek?
I don't know who we're talking about. Oh!
I mean, the
Prince Derek. Okay, I know who we're talking about now.
Butt cleavage, boob cleavage, elbow cleavage. Here I am talking about the beautiful mastery of martial arts, and this is butt cleavage.
Wait, so who asked more of who? She asked him.
What does Sagatha ask for more of when she's getting ready to marry Prince Derek?
I don't know.
Eeny, meeny, miny it.
That's really funny. I'm gonna go with butt cleavage.
Elbow cleavage.
That's probably wrong.
Elbow cleavage just sounds like ridiculous, so... Correct.
Oh, wow.
That's butt cleavage. What the heck?
She's like literally this tiny, tiny fairy. And he's half lizard, half human.
You're really selling me on watching this nonsense.
You got it. I'm building curiosity.
No, you're really not. This nonsense.
Watch one episode.
I don't know. I got bigger, better things to watch.
Oh, like H2O just had water?
Shush.
Oh, it's your turn.
Shush.
Which
no hate. This sounds just fascinating. No hate at all. Okay, what?
Just try it.
I'll try it. Maybe.
Which of the following is not a real hybrid animal in the Avatar world? There's a lot here.
Should I just look at the list?
If you wanna. Do you have any guesses? That's such a stupid question. Hog monkey.
Yes, it is.
Boar cupine. Gopher dog.
Mm-hmm.
Platypus bear.
That's it. Yes, that is.
Iguana parrot.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
Polar bear dog.
That's it, yes.
Dragon fly.
What?
Dragon -fly. Turtle duck.
Oh my god, turtle ducks are amazing!
Badger mole.
Badger mole, big bad badger mole.
Ostrich horse.
Yep, love those.
That's it.
Okay, there was a couple. I have to look at them because
they like porcupine. You weren't sure about.
No, porcupine. Yes, I think is hog monkey. Absolutely. Gopher dog. I don't think gopher dog. But then the dragonfly, that weirds me out because.
But are there dragons that fly?
Well, yeah, there are dragons, absolutely, but like a dragonfly is an actual normal insect. But the way it is dragon-fly. So what the heck is that? But then gopher dog. When did I... Gopher dog. I don't think I remember a gopher dog within the... See, the only problem is now I'm wondering if they're going into Legend of Korra as well. They are, Avatar World. Because... Where is it at? Leaping hog monkeys. The... Polar bear dog, that's Korra's, I don't know, spirit animal, whatever you want to call it. She has a polar bear dog, so I know that. I'm so nervous. I don't want to get this wrong. Ah! What the heck is a dragon? Gopher dog? I don't recall a gopher dog.
I kind of zoned out while you were thinking about this.
Sorry.
No, take time.
Do I just not know? You know what? We're gonna go with the gopher. I really don't recall a gopher dog.
That's my job, lady.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get this wrong.
So she's going with iguana parrot.
No, I'm not.
Oh, she's going with gopher dog. My bad, it was highlighted. Correct!
Okay, I didn't think so.
Gopher dogs are made-up creatures. That would be completely ridiculous. Porcupines, on the other hand, are real animals that make perfect sense, and I will have no backtalk on this.
No, the one animal that wasn't a hybrid was Bosco the bear, and everyone's just like, they were. The Earth King was throwing a birthday party for his bear, Bosco, and they were just like bear, and they were going through a list of other hybrid animals, and they're just like, it just says bear. And so it was so weird to not have a hybrid animal.
That's
They're like,
really
this
funny.
place is weird. Okay, your turn. My phone turned off. Hold on. Which of these didn't appear below the now entering enchanted forest sign?
Oh my god,
Please
what?
select two.
What?
There are two. Beware of racist antelope. Help, I've been turned into a sign. Beware of psychotic unicorn. Beware of small squirrels with big hammers.
Oh god. I'm not getting this right. There's
Beware
no way.
of provocative fairies. Beware of low-flying snakes. Beware of midnight owl orgies. What is this? You have to choose two.
I feel like
Do you want to look it up?
I'm not gonna get this right, so I'm just gonna go with low-flying snakes
Okay.
and the unicorn.
Okay. The fact that those are the two you go for?
It's my best guess.
The fact that there are all these other potential things that are issue. Okay, this is so crazy to me. Incorrect.
Yeah, I know.
I really wish it would give the. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't give. The
I wasn't gonna
ones.
get that in a million years. I have to start over because it logged me out. So
Good job.
not the gopher dog. Okay, the Puppet Master, season 3, episode 8's real name is
Hama.
What is it?
Hama.
Hama, H-A-M-A.
Mm-hmm.
I have to type it in personally.
Oh dear.
So hope you spelled it right.
I do too.
Correct.
Okay.
No blurb. You're good.
I can hear Sokka saying Hama. Okay. Trevor. What was the best soup Bean ever had?
Oh my god, this is so hard.
Leek and potato, whiskey, tomato, beer, carrot and coriander. Your face right now.
This is so hard. Like, I'm just not going to get it right.
So does
I
Bean
have no
just
clue.
really like soups?
No, she likes beer, so I feel like beer is the answer.
Oh, Bean is a girl?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going with beer? Beer soup?
Sure.
Okay. Incorrect. You
I
really
don't
stink
know.
at this.
It's so hard.
How many seasons of this show are there?
5.
Oh, so you're working with more seasons as well. A lot of random. And if you're not, like, actively watching it, like I actively watch Avatar.
Yeah, and I've only seen most of it once.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
cut me a slack.
Yep, okay.
Sokka had no experience wielding a sword until he met Pian Diao in the episode Sokka's Master, season 3, episode 4. True or false?
He had no?
He had no experience wielding a sword until he met Pian Diao. Pian Diao.
Oh, my heart did the stutter thingy.
True or false?
I feel like that's false. He mastered. Hold on, let me think. I mean, he's always working with his boomerangs, but no experience? Like, are we talking, like, no experience with a sword?
Sokka had no experience wielding a sword until he met Pian Diao in the episode Sokka's Master.
I hope they're not considering his, like... Because he had a staff. I don't like this. I don't like that all or nothing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Did he never pick up a sword before that?
No experience wielding a sword.
Oh, I'm gonna get this wrong. I don't like this.
Go with your gut. Go with your gut.
I don't have a gut answer to this one.
Go with your gut.
No experience?
You're thinking.
I'm thinking so hard about this. It's just not that big of a deal. We're gonna go true. He had no experience. Because I just...
Correct.
Okay.
Mans used to be a completely clueless with a sword, but he still had a boomerang.
Yeah, he had other weapons though, so let's give him credit. You know what kills me? He lost his space sword, and he never got it back. I don't know if he ever went back to find it. You know what? I hope the next movie that's coming out in 2025, as them as like more young adults and everything, they've grown up, they're getting to the rhythm of everything. I hope they have a moment where Sokka goes and finds his space sword, because he had to throw it to keep Toph from getting nixed by some firebenders, and it flung away my space sword. I hope he gets that back. Anyway, question number 9. What is the very thing?
Oh my god, what?
The elven throne beneath Dreamland Castle, the sacred goo, the Book of Oggs, the Saviors. What is the very
thing? What was the first thing?
The elven throne beneath Dreamland Castle?
I feel like it's the goo, but I see that's just what I know.
The sacred goo?
Goo.
Go with the goo. Go with the goo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Goo.
goo.
Did I steer you wrong? Correct!
Yes!
Always go with the goo.
Let's go!
Let's goo.
Let's goo. And they're literally like,
so lame.
the goo. The trogs.
The claw.
The goo. And they like pour it and it makes things dance. Okay. Despite Sokka's strict and lengthy schedule, Team Avatar tended to get held up a lot with on their adventures. One such holdup was when Appa got sick visiting a small fishing town, Season 3, Episode 3, making the group stay longer than expected. True or false?
Now hold on. I don't like this true or false, because he didn't actually get sick. Qatar made him look sick, but he wasn't actually sick. So that's hard. She fed him purple berries to make his tongue purple, and he was grumbling and whatever.
So you're gonna go false?
He may be, but then, okay, so he wasn't actually sick, but she was like, he may be sick of all the berries I've been feeding him. I don't like this question. I don't like it. The wording is off, and if I get this wrong, I'm too competitive for this.
Ain't no competition. It's competition against yourself. It's like golf.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Rub your blankie. Ask the blankie for the answers.
Shut up. It's got a string.
Your blankie is the very thing.
Folks, let's just clarify the fact that I know exactly the scene. I know exactly what happened, but whether the answer is true or false is very confuddled because of the wording and because of the specifics of he wasn't actually sick, but he was sick of the berries and he was like groaning about. We're gonna go true.
Okay, let's go true. They put false and then true.
What?
Instead of true false, they put false true.
Switching up down, yeah.
Incorrect.
See, he wasn't sick.
Appa was never really sick.
Okay, see, that's the wording.
You should have gotten that right.
That's so stupid.
Katara wanted to stay and help the villagers, so she fed Appa berries to make his tongue turn purple. You said that.
I said it like I know. Like I
You
said,
knew
folks,
that.
I know my stuff. Okay. This is just a picture of a bald dude with
Is Jerry?
some kind of
It's Jerry.
okay. I'm gonna go with that then. It's Jerry, correct.
I know.
He's a bald dude. Sitting in a weird pose.
Jerry!
I don't know.
Okay. Which of the following is not a bending subtype?
Oh, we're going Legend of Korra.
Plant bending. Sand bending.
Yes, it is.
Metal bending.
Yes, it does. Yes.
Energy bending.
Uh-huh.
Lightning bending. combustion bending,
Combustion man.
blood bending,
Mm-hmm.
lava bending,
The first one.
plant bending.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Should be. Incorrect!
Pardon.
Energy bending is technically its own bending style. I'm sorry about this one.
What?
I guess it's not a subtype because it's its own type.
Again, with the wording, folks.
They said they're sorry.
Okay, the problem with I really don't like that because plant bending is not a thing. You're not bending the plants. You're bending the water in the plants. That's water bending. I guess it would be like a sub, but it is a subcategory of water bending. And it's not. This is stupid wording, folks. Wording.
Right. So that
like the swamp people, they bent the vines, but they were bending the water in the vines.
Right. So that's a subtype of water.
So that's not the right answer.
Right. The right answer is energy bending.
But this is stupid.
Because energy bending is the type. Plant bending. So which one is not a subtype? Plant bending is a subtype of water bending.
Okay.
Energy bending is the type.
I was thinking too hard on water bending, I guess. But then energy okay. I don't like. Okay, whatever. I'm too competitive for this. Moving on. That's gonna bug me. Okay. It's gonna bug me. Moving on. I am crazy lizard queen of blank land. Una. Type the missing word. Of what land?
Una?
Una said, I am crazy lizard queen of blank land.
Well, she was the queen of Dreamland when she was married to Zog.
Is that your final answer?
I'm gonna go with Dreamland.
Dream. Incorrect.
Well, I don't know what the answer is.
I don't either. It doesn't tell me.
You spelled dream wrong?
No!
I'm just kidding.
I didn't capitalize it, though. Was that a big deal? Maybe that was it.
Maybe!
Who
Hopefully
knows?
not.
Sorry,
Boomerang will always come back. True or false?
True. Boomerang, you do always come back.
Incorrect!
Pardon.
Boomerang was tragically lost in the season finale of Avatar. Oh, spoiler. In the season finale of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and has yet to come back. Though Sokka appears with a new boomerang in the comics, it is not Boomerang. Pour one out for Boomerang.
I don't like that one. No.
It says it was lost.
No, Boomerang always comes back.
But was it lost?
Boomerang always comes back.
Aw, cat.
Okay. Yeah, he did lose his space sword as well. That one didn't come back. But Boomerang always comes back. What did the fish eat off the end of Lucy's tail in Dankmire?
I have no idea.
Chocolate spread, cream cheese, peanut butter, honey.
I have no clue.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe it.
I don't know any of these.
Well, these are so obscure. I feel
Yeah.
like mine are definitely more like plot driven. Yours are just like little stupid details.
Yeah, little stupid details. So what was it?
Chocolate spread, cream cheese, peanut butter, or honey.
Well, peanut butter underwater. Was it underwater? Maybe not.
Off the end of Lucy's tail in Dankmire. Your face is so funny.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter jelly time. I'm going with peanut butter. Next. Correct! You did
Let's
something
go.
right.
All right. Fill in the blank. In the episode The Blue Spirit, Season 1,
Love that
Episode
episode.
13,
Yeah.
Team Avatar encounters an old woman, an herbalist, that can hopefully cure Sokka
Oh no.
and later Katara of their ailment. This woman had a cat. The cat's name was...
Miyuki.
How am I going to spell that?
I don't know. M-I-U-K-I?
M-I-U-K-I. You sure?
No, I'm not
Okay.
sure. I don't know how to spell it.
You want to think about it?
I'm not gonna figure it out. No, we just go for it.
Incorrect, although I'm sure that you're right and we just spelled it wrong.
Oh, maybe it was M-I-U? Or M-I-Y-U-K-I?
Maybe. Maybe we'll find out.
I'm sorry, I don't know these names. Which is really problematic considering I do watch it with subtitles.
Well, You have the DVDs, right? Or what are you
I have
watching?
the DVDs.
Yeah, those are probably right.
But
Netflix
no, I watch
subtitles are wrong all the time.
They are wrong all the time. I think, okay, so it was Miyuki, but I think it's Miyuki. I think I missed the Y. My bad. I still know it.
So you're
I'm
done,
fine.
so I've got a couple to answer still.
I'm done?
This is just saying, let me know if I got anything wrong in the quiz. Should I go off on the energy vendor one?
You still got a few.
Yeah.
Find me another quiz. That was fun.
Oh, you want to do more?
No, we don't need to.
We can do more.
Nobody
Let's do
else
more.
wants to listen to this.
So that's the whole point.
This is the whole good excuse of watching Avatar.
Finish mine, and then we can look
yes,
for more if we want to do more.
Which of these is not something Oddval has said?
Oh no. My god. That's so hard.
Oh no, that wrinkled old buffoon always mixes up the pages. Shooting stars are angels plummeting to hell. Okay. This man was obviously killed by an octopus. I too must be going as I have a guy with a thing.
I think it's the second one.
Certainly no. Religious sex magic rituals.
Oh wait, but there's another one?
Yeah, there was another one.
Oh. What's the second one again?
Shooting stars are angels plummeting to hell.
That doesn't sound familiar, so I'm just gonna go with that one.
Okay.
I can hear his voice in my head.
Incorrect.
Dang.
It was said by a sorcerio.
That was?
Yeah. That's the first time I had any kind of interjection.
Wait, what was said by him?
Falling stars are angels falling to hell?
Right, so that one was not said by Alval. Wasn't that the question?
No, I have no idea. I have no idea now.
Forget it! Wasn't the question which one was not said by Oddball?
No, I think it said what was said by...
Oh! Got the question wrong.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I
don't know. What is the name of the mermaid being kissed?
Mora. M-O-R-A. Mora.
Correct. Which elf turned into a trog after drinking the sacred goo? King Rulo, Kissy, Shaco, Elfo, Levo, Blabo, Deserto. What the heck? What the hecko?
I was gonna say Levo.
Final answer? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
No, was it Shaco?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
It wasn't Elfo. I don't think it was the king.
I wonder if that picked up on the mic.
That'd be nice. What were the other options?
Kissy, Shaco, Elfo, Levo, Blabo, Deserto.
Don't know him. I feel like it's between Levo and Shaco, and I'm gonna go with Shaco.
Shaco.
I don't think that's right.
Let it be Levo. Incorrect. It was Levo.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It doesn't actually tell me if it was Levo or not.
It was probably Levo.
Okay. Last question. Lastly, who is/are your favorite character? Oh, doesn't affect your test results.
My favorite character is Lucy.
Luci.
They don't need to know that.
Your result, 56%.
You got 66. Oh wait, but I answered one of them correctly when I was going through it again, so... The one about the northern...
Oh, Northern Sholin.
So where are the answers? This is so stupid. We'll never know.
I don't know. I got more than that right. I mean, we misspelled Miyuki.
Yeah.
So that didn't count.
Let's find out how you spell it.
And then the other ones were questionable questions. I'm going to say I did better. Everybody knows I did better than that.
Miyuki Sushi.
There's Miyuki.
Yep, with a Y.
Yeah, there it is. So we got that one right. Just misspelled it. So it's totally different.
Cat. So chunky. Looks like an old man.
That's Miyuki's dinner. Ah, good stuff. I could go on about Avatar for a very long time, but instead I want to switch gears real quick.
Okay,
that was the segue into something. Once again, we always talk about something gross. Here it is, folks.
Oh no!
Today, the gross thing we're talking about is tonsil stones.
You have tonsil stones?
I just dug out the biggest tonsil stones of my life last night. It was awesome.
I'm so jealous.
It was awesome. It was
I've wanted tonsil stones.
Ew, what? No.
Just so that I could have the satisfaction of taking them out.
You probably do. You just can't see them yet.
I don't have tonsil stones.
I don't believe that.
You want to check me?
No.
I don't have them. Trust, I've looked.
I've looked.
I've poked around in the back of my throat with Q-tips. I want something to come out. It doesn't.
I had some pretty massive tonsil stones.
Did you know that you had them your whole... How long have you had them? Like, how long have you been aware that you've had them?
I've been aware that I've had them for several years now.
Oh my god, we never talked about this?
No. Because it's gross.
I feel my tonsils because we're talking about tonsils.
Well, the thing is, so these tonsil stones got to the point where they were so big that every time I swallowed, I felt it in the back of my throat, and I was like, what is that? And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, it's a tonsil stone. So I started digging it out and started checking the other side, and there was another one on the other side, and it was great. They were huge.
So what was your first experience with a tonsil stone?
I felt it. I was like, what the heck?
How old were you?
It was only a few years ago.
Oh, so there's still hope for me.
Yeah.
No, I
Sure.
really don't think I have any.
Well, like I said, I wasn't made aware of them until, like, just a few years ago. So I was, like, probably 25. I was living in my apartment now, so it's only been 3 years. So
Wow.
you've got time to develop them.
I don't think I have them.
It was very satisfying to get out. I do want a water pick, because that's supposed to have a setting on the water picks where it helps cleanse them out without potentially damaging your...
Yeah, that's
tonsils,
the thing is they
'cause
say
that's-
that the more you take them out, like, the holes will get bigger, and then you'll get more, just bigger tonsil zones.
Which are really gross. So if people don't know what tonsil stones are, there are little pockets in the back of your throat near your tonsils and everything that when you eat or do whatever, when you swallow, obviously, there are parts of that can get caught in these little holes in the back of your throat. They build up and they can almost become like a plaque-like little stone in the back of your throat. And if they get big enough, like me, you can start feeling them when you swallow. You can see them. They're usually like a white or like an opaque white.
You can hack them up on accident.
Did you see that video of the guy who goes, power?
Jeremy Fragrance! I love that guy. I love that guy.
So huge.
Jeremy
I was like,
Fragrance. He's so funny.
Oh my God. Yeah, so I saw that. I was like, that's incredible. And I did. I had not anywhere near that big. Holy cow. But yeah, and they
smell like death.
They do. They smell so rank. So if you're someone who brushes your teeth and take really good care of your dental hygiene, but your breath still stinks, you might have tonsil stones. So get that checked out, folks, because they are rank. Oh my
Gross.
God. It is. It's like basically in your mouth, garbage sitting out all that time. It just builds up. Like the food that you eat just builds up back there sometimes. And it's like gross, rotten food.
Could it, like, do certain foods maybe stick around differently?
I have no idea. No idea.
Hmm.
I'm not tracking exactly what I eat and how quickly my tonsil stones build up. I just know I have one. I got to get rid of it. And it was very satisfying to get rid of it last night. So
Just
it was
one?
gross. No. I had a nice big one on both sides. Last night was the first night I ever got one off of the left. It's always been my right side. But the left has joined the group, folks. The left is in it now. It was so gross. So satisfying that I did. I was doing my whole dental hygiene routine and everything, and then time to clean those puppies out.
Wow.
It was so satisfying, though. They were so gross.
No, I don't have them. I did recently get, like, a tongue scraper brush thing.
Gross.
Really good.
Yeah.
Love it.
Gross.
Recommend it.
What I don't recommend is cleaning out your tonsil stones when you're anywhere other than the bathroom. I drooled all over myself.
Where were you? Oh, you were in the bathroom and just drooling?
No, I was in my bedroom at my vanity
Nice.
with the mirror and the light and everything that I have there. And I drooled all over myself. Just fountain. Because you're digging around in your tonsils and it makes your mouth water even more.
Yeah, the other day I was driving and I put a Twizzler in my mouth and I just
Just
like
drooled.
dripped everywhere. Because it was like in the side of my mouth, so my mouth is like a little bit open.
Yep.
And
You got your
Gross.
sticky, gross spit going everywhere. Yeah, I did. I was like a freaking just... Because I'm digging around back there and I'm not paying attention. All of a sudden,
your
just...
saliva glands are probably like, help!
We're being attacked! Oh, it was so gross.
Wow.
Loved it. It was great. It was very satisfying, though, so...
Happy for you.
Yeah. I should have taken a picture of how big that tonsil stone. Oh god, that's so gross.
Don't take a picture. I have guy friends who will like take a picture of their poop if they think it's like worthy.
Yeah.
Or concerning.
That reminds me of the time we went to. My tennis coach would always take the boys out to a steak buffet place after tennis games. Never the girls. It was always just the guys. But then I had to be on the boys' team one year, and so I got to go to the steak buffet.
Whoa.
And I will never forget the sight of the vomit.
Oh no.
They ate so much steak. This one kid, Isaac, he ate so much steak because he was trying to beat my brother's record. My brother held the record for like 14 steaks. It was something disgusting.
God.
He was trying to beat that record. He went to the bathroom. He threw up everywhere. Everywhere. He decided to take a
picture?
I just spit.
Take a selfie with
So
the
gross.
vomit.
Yeah, he took a picture of all the vomit and then decided to bring it out and show everybody at the dining table. So we all got to experience that. That was cute.
I hate that.
Yep.
Wow, that's gross.
Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yep. I'm sorry, I'm really sniffling today, guys. It's
Say
really
that
bad.
every time.
It's really bad today, though.
They say you're not supposed to get your tonsils out. Like, that's really dangerous.
Well.
I've been hearing on TikTok. Because they say, like, if you have tonsil stones, you should get your tonsils out, but I hear that's not good either.
I mean, your tonsils, I guess, are there for a reason, or you wouldn't have them.
Appendix?
I don't know. I feel like that's a vestigial limb.
A what?
A vestigial limb. A limb that had a purpose, but no longer has a purpose.
You're probably right. Is that weird? We just have something.
It does do something. I think it filters out. It's kind of like an extra little kidney. I feel like I'm talking out my butt.
An extra kidney?
It's like, no, so you know how your kidneys filter everything, right? I feel like the appendix does something as far as like filtering something or keeping something out. I feel like it did something, but it's not crucially necessary for it to be there.
What do you think about organ... Oh, we've talked about this.
No, have we? What?
Donating organs.
I think it's great. What else are you going to do with it? Although I did see something about that apparently if you are an organ donor and you're in the hospital and something goes wrong, doctors will actually kind of push quicker for you to just pull the plug and donate rather than actually trying to save.
That's scary.
So that's a little scary.
And don't like memories.
But I was going to say, because of that, advocate for yourself and advocate for your family, folks.
Oh, true.
You have to be a self-advocate as far as that goes because they just want your organs. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But I'm... Okay, whatever. Advocate for yourself. Moving on. What?
I feel like I've heard stories about people getting an organ donation and then they...
You take on characteristics of that person
or
that
like
you got it from.
memories or like trauma or like they're suddenly afraid of something that they weren't before because of like the DNA and the like coding that like came through the... That's weird.
Well, I mean, in massage therapy, we learned that you hold trauma in your body. There are certain spots that I could be worried. You could be, you know, years out from grief or whatever. I could hit a certain part of your body and all of a sudden those feelings, those emotions well up because your body holds on to different things in different spots. So it's a thing that we actually have to learn about in school to be able to handle it and be able to work with people that way. So.
Was there a garbage can like laying down in the sidewalk?
No.
I saw one this morning. It's not ours.
Free trash can. Are you complaining?
I was gonna hopefully follow the little wheels. I don't know where it came from.
That's fun.
That's weird. Honestly, that's one of my fears is like if I'm getting a massage and I start crying, that sounds like the worst thing ever.
I hate getting massages. I don't. I need one. I'm hurting, but I don't get.
Have you ever?
I've gotten massage. Going through school, you practice on each other. I got daily massages for 6 months. It was a lot. Had to get used to it. And then after I graduated and I didn't have my daily massage, I was like, where's my massage? But now I'm not used to being touched anymore and I hate it. Don't touch me.
I won't.
I hate physical affection.
Me too.
That was such a goofy sentence.
Me too.
Oh my god. No, people are always like, how are you a massage therapist and you don't like massages? I'm like, I'm not getting the massage. I'm giving the massage. It's totally different. Nobody needs to touch me. I'm so good. I can't wrap my head around people who their love language is physical touch.
Mm-mm.
What kind of nonsense is that? Crazy.
Weird.
Unfathomable.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that cavities are contagious? Like,
Uh-huh.
you knew that?
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
It's a type of bacteria.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And yet another reason why I'm pretty sure I've never had cavities, because I ain't swapping spit with nobody.
I've never had one yet.
I've never had any, but I do have a dark mark on one of my molars that has been there from the beginning of time. So I'm wondering if it's just a dark mark or if it's like a cavity that is just so slowly working its way to the surface. But I'm talking like 28 years working. It's been there my entire life.
It might just be a mark.
I'm hoping it's just a mark. I take really good care of my teeth.
My sister fell on her face when she was a kid, and her tooth, like, turned gray.
My mom has that.
Like, lost the... But it was a baby tooth. She doesn't have it anymore.
Oh,
But
that's good.
it's
Yeah,
so
like the
weird.
nerve in it died.
Yeah. Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah. My biggest, not biggest fear, that's a lie, but I really like the thought of losing a tooth or something and having to go through all that, because dentistry is so expensive. And nobody got money or time for that. But yeah, losing a tooth is definitely up there on my list of like, please don't let that ever happen.
Did you read the Smile book when you were, like, a kid? Or not? I don't maybe
I know what you're talking
when
about.
it came out, but...
Mm-hmm. I don't think I
Smile.
ever read it.
It's a
I can
graphic novel.
visualize the cover of it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was good. But
Was-
she, like, fell on her face and... What was it? Her 4 front teeth? Two
I don't
or
know.
4 of her front teeth came out.
That's terrifying. Obviously, we watch hockey, and losing teeth is like initiation into the hockey realm. And I'm like, but no, I think it's so fine if you don't lose teeth. And I love it. They're spitting chiclets. That's what they say. They're spitting chiclets. And I'm like, I'm so good never losing my teeth. And you know what? Put your mouth guards in, folks. You don't need to lose them either. I don't care if you're playing hockey. You don't need to lose them. Put that back. Put that back. They spend more time chewing their mouth guards than they do using it to protect their teeth.
Yeah.
They bend all out of shape and they're just chew toys at that point.
There was a kid that I knew when I was a kid, and well, I had this a few times, but, like, his adult teeth came in while his baby teeth were still there. And so he had, like, 2 rows.
Shark
Like
teeth.
a shark. That happened to me one time, like,
Shark bait. Hoo ha ha.
these 2 on the bottom had, like, grown in, and I still had the baby teeth next to him. Because I hate the feeling of trying to pull a tooth out. You good?
I'm twitching.
You're
That
twitching.
is okay.
I hate it. Ugh. I'm so glad I never have to do it again.
It's making my eye twitch. Have you ever like?
You're twitching. Whoa.
Because I keep picturing. I'm about to say what. I don't like the feeling of teeth on teeth.
Teeth on teeth.
Have you ever clacked your front teeth together?
I do it all the time, I think.
Don't like it. Molars clacking together, that's one thing. But your front teeth that aren't supposed to clack together, have you ever, like, I don't want to do it.
Sure, I have.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Wow, that's so weird.
I don't like it. And so the few
That's
times when
really
I,
weird.
like, chewing too quickly because I'm an animal and they clack together, nope, don't like it. Nope. Mm-mm. 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 It's like chewing on tinfoil.
I hate accidentally biting my tongue. I feel like I can hear, like, you know, like in a cartoon where it's like, bang! Like the, like, word comes up on the screen.
Uh-huh.
When I bite my tongue, I feel like it's like, ouch!
See, I bite the sides of my cheeks, like the inside of my cheeks. That's what always gets me. And it's, again, because I'm a freaking animal and I'm chewing too fast or something. It's like, just calm down.
I sometimes, if I sleep on the side of my face, I'll wake up and I had been biting my cheek all night, and so there's, like, dead cheek. You know what I mean? On the inside of my
Yes.
cheek.
My mom, she got, when she was young, teenager, something or other, she had something happen with her teeth, she had Novocaine, and in the nighttime, she couldn't feel her mouth. In the nighttime, she had chewed on her lip to the point where it had, like, drooped down and, like, completely deformed her face. she was crying. She was like, I'm not going to school. She skipped school because her face was so deformed because she was chewing on her lip and it pulled it and stretched it out of place.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that's terrifying.
There was this kid I went to not elementary, but like middle school with, and he was just a crybaby. Like, he was always crying about everything. But one time he was playing basketball and he fell and his tooth went through his cheek. No tears. Did not cry. Didn't cry. He cried about everything.
He was probably in shock.
2 other boys got into a fight one time and he cried.
So cute.
Like, he was always crying.
He was probably in shock.
Probably.
Because I was talking with my cousin. He didn't know that I had surgery on my arm.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin's husband. And so we were at this shindig when I was in Ohio this past weekend. And
Oh, yeah, I forgot you went.
yeah, that was a long, brutal trip.
Sorry.
It's okay. No, like the drive itself was just so, oh my God, it was so boring. And I hurt so bad. Anyway, so we're at this party thing, we're talking, and he had one of those glow stick bracelet kind of things. He was flipping it around and he had tapped it on my arm. But he tapped it right along my scar on the back of my arm there. And it made me like, it weirded me out because my scar doesn't have any, like, the nerves aren't there. But I could feel, like, the pressure around where he was tapping, and it felt weird. It didn't hurt or anything, it just felt weird. And so I said, wow, that felt really weird. He was like, what are you talking about? He didn't know I had my scar, he didn't know my surgery, so we started talking about that and everything. Where was I going with this?
Being in shock?
Oh, thank you. Okay. So we started talking about that, but I told him, I was like, when you break a bone, your adrenaline is pumping, and it's a protection. It's a self-defense mechanism that your brain kind of shuts down the pain so you're able to get out of a situation that could potentially be dangerous.
Yeah.
So it shuts down the pain long enough for you to hightail it out of there, and then once it calms down a little bit, then when you start feeling the pain. I told him, I was like, when I first broke my arm, I didn't feel anything. I felt no pain. The only reason I knew it was broken was because I heard it crack. It was loud. It was snap like, oh my gosh. But yeah, no pain whatsoever, and that's why nobody believed me. I popped up out of the water. I broke it on, I think I've talked about this before, but we'll reiterate it for any new listeners. Not that we have them. But no, I was at camp. I jumped down on a blob, which is the big airbag thing in the water. One person jumps on one end and launches the other person off the other end. And I had jumped down on it, and instead of having my arms out in front of me like you're supposed to, I had them down by my sides and my elbows locked. Mm-hmm. And the pressure of landing on it snapped my humerus. And like I said, no pain at all. Just heard it snap. And so I slide off of the big airbag thing into the water. I pop back up because we had life jackets on, thank God. Pop back up, and I just was calling out to the people on the shore along the sidewalk there. I was like, yeah, I broke my arm. Can someone come help me out? Because I'm like doggy paddling with like one hand and just wasn't going anywhere. Spinning around in circles.
Wait, so like, what was like, why were you not swimming with both arms if you didn't have pain? Like, you couldn't?
It was like a mental thing, like my arm is broken, don't move it.
Don't move it?
It was, yeah.
Weird.
So I didn't want to, and it was floating next to me at a very odd angle. It was very weird, so I didn't want to move it, didn't want to make it worse or anything, so I'm doing it with one hand, and nobody believed me. Everyone was just standing there, like, and I was like, no, seriously, I broke my arm. Someone come help me. So somebody, I don't know who, came out, swam out, pulled me into the shore, but it wasn't a beach or anything. It was just like a pond dug into the ground, and along the side was just a sidewalk, and so it was like a sheer wall. To get up onto the sidewalk out of the water, there was just like this concrete step, but the step had been crooked, and because it's underwater, it was a little bit slippery, and I'm holding my arm against my body. So my arms, I have no hands. So I can't keep my balance. I can't grab onto anything else. And I'm stepping up onto this tilted step, and I'm like slipping off of it. Oh, whoever this kid was that came to help me in, he grabbed like the back of my knee and like planted my foot onto the step to help me up. And rather than worrying about my broken arm or thinking about the pain that was about to start, I was just like, I'm really glad I shaved my legs today. That's all I was thinking. I was like, I'm really glad I shaved my legs.
Oh my God.
Because this very nice gentleman came and helped me out. It was great. And then I'm sitting there on the bench. I'm waiting for like I said, I was at camp. And so I was waiting for my group leader, basically, to come get the truck and take me to the hospital.
Right.
So I'm sitting on a bench waiting around. Everybody's standing around. We're talking and everything. All I remember is, again, I didn't feel any pain, but the adrenaline that was rushing through me, it was so overwhelming. It made you sick to your stomach. I was so nauseous with how much adrenaline was pumping through me. I was like, I would rather break another arm than feel that kind of nausea. It was horrendous. But then, of course, my friend that I was actually on the blob, was doing the blob with her. Her name was Allie. She comes over to me, and she was one of the people I was going to Europe with, the People to People Student Ambassador Program. She comes up to me and she's like, you're going to have a cast in Europe. And I broke down crying. Not because of the pain, not because I broke my arm, because I was going to have a cast in Europe. I was so upset. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to rappel down the castle wall in Ireland. I'm not going to be able to do this and that. And I'm like, oh my God. It didn't matter because I didn't actually I wasn't able to go anyway. And then I found out later, Allie felt really guilty because she went to Europe. She had a good time, but she was the one who went with me on the blob. She felt that it was her fault that I broke my arm because she was the one I was going with.
That's sad.
So she felt really bad. I was like, don't feel bad. It's not your fault.
Right.
But yeah. So that big whole long story just to say that I didn't feel any pain.
What was your cast like? Was it like a full arm thing?
These freaking idiots. So I go to the hospital, and thankfully I was in and out real quick. That never happens. But we're in the hills of Virginia. Like we weren't any big town, so it was pretty quick. But the quack of a doctor that I had, when you put your arm up in like the sling thing over the hook to start putting a cast on, my arm is hanging there like at a right angle, 90-degree angle, and he just kind of keeps lifting the part of my bone that was broken, because it broke in 3 spots. My arm was in 3 pieces.
Whoa.
The middle section, the middle bone kept dropping out of place. And he kept just lifting it, and it would drop, and lifting it, and dropping. And I'm like, that's not working.
Did you feel it? Like,
at that point, they had given me...
They gave you something?
They gave me something strong.
Oh my God.
So again, didn't feel any pain, but I could feel my bones grinding it together as he's picking it up, trying to put it back in place. And I'm like, that's not working. Stop doing it.
So gross.
And so finally he stopped moving my bones around, and he just wrapped my arm and did like a big heavy plaster cast,
right,
which was stupid. I mean, just the height of stupidity, because the way my arm was broken, putting that big heavy cast on it was just pulling it and moving. It didn't actually stabilize the bone at all. Right. It was just like this big, heavy, loose cast. And it was actually making worse. So when I got back to Ohio and we went to a specialist in Columbus, they took the stupid plaster cast off and gave me a soft wrap, a splint and a soft wrap, which actually held everything more in place. And they said, yeah, that plaster cast could have potentially snapped your radial nerve, which innervates your entire arm, which makes it function. And I could have lost function in my arm.
Did you miss the rest of summer camp?
No.
You went back with this clunky...
Yeah. Well, it was the second to last day of camp.
Okay.
I called my mom on the way there, and she's like, okay, we'll come get you. I'm like, no. I'm good. I'll stay. So I stayed for the last day. I was 16. Okay. I stayed the last day, and I took the bus back from Virginia back to Ohio. That was a rough trip, I will say. Jostling around on a bus for that long.
With a cast
with
on.
A broken arm.
Oh my God. Wait, so how come you had surgery on it?
Because it would have never healed.
Oh.
The way it was broken, it would have never healed on its own.
So the casts were just like temporary until...
Yeah, it was just a stabilizer.
Wow.
Until I had surgery. Because I have a plate and 6 screws now.
Wow.
And you can feel the plate sticking out near
good.
my elbow. I'm so good. But yeah.
I think I have felt it before.
Yeah. Wow. Plate and 6 screws holding it all together. And actually, people aren't lying as far as like old people saying like, oh, my joints are feeling it. They're, the cold and the weather changing. It's going to storm. That's real. That's real. Because anytime it's like about to storm or anything, I can still feel where the break in my bones were. Like, but my whole arm just aches where it was broken.
Oh my God. So. I'm going to throw up.
I still have nerve damage. Let me see.
My God.
My thumb at certain angles still shakes. Oh my God. With overuse, when it's tired, it shakes really, really bad. It looks like I'm doing it on purpose, but it's really just nerve damage. Because when I had my surgery, to get to where the plate needed to be, they had to actually move my radial nerve out of the way. And when they moved it, and I got it out of the way, it irritated it a little bit. So after surgery, I had no use of my hand. I could only, my wrist would hang there. I couldn't lift my wrist, and I could only curl the end of my fingers.
What was that like? Like, could you feel it like they were trying to and nothing was happening?
Oh yeah, it was. I put all of my energy into moving my wrist. Couldn't do it.
Did you have to do like PT to like
OT? Yeah.
Or OT.
Yeah, I went into occupational therapy. That's actually what I went in to do in college, the first round. Because I broke my arm, I went to occupational therapy. I loved it. I actually enjoyed going to occupational therapy, even though it was so frustrating that we're taking measurements to see how far I can lift my fingers, and I can't do it. Do you know how much I put all of my strength and energy into lifting a finger, and it wasn't doing it? I was like, that's infuriating. Absolutely infuriating. But no, I loved it so much that I had considered going to college for it. Then I hated college, and that's a whole other story. But anyway. But no, I could only curl the ends of my fingers in. And I'll never forget, I was at the movie theater with a couple of my friends. And at this point, after my surgery, my radial nerve was numb. It wasn't working. My hand wasn't working. But I had a removable splint because with my arm technically being fixed, they were just like, okay, start working it, start moving it around, strengthening it up and everything, even though I couldn't move my hand. I had taken the splint off while I was sitting in the movie theater, and I just had my arm flopped over the armrest. Mm-hmm. My wrist was dangling there. I wasn't even paying attention to the movie. I was just looking at my wrist, and I'm like, move, dang it. Do something. Move.
Oh my God.
And I'll never, ever forget, in the shadow of the movie, against the light, I saw my wrist twitch, like, that much. That much. And I'm talking, like, a fraction of a millimeter. I saw my wrist twitch. And I was like, you guys, look, it moved. I was so excited. And I eventually did get my function back, obviously.
I figured.
And now I'm a massage therapist.
And you do sign language.
And sign language, yep.
Wow.
Hallelujah.
So dreams come true.
The doctor said it was a straight up miracle that my radial nerve didn't sever. Because all 3 of the breaks that were in my arm ran right across where the radial nerve was. And it should have, there was no reason it should, like I said, it was a miracle my radial nerve did not snap.
Holy cow.
So, that was a lot. I'm done. Your turn.
What time are we at?
I don't know.
Okay.
We're good.
Did I tell you the time when my dad, like, snapped his, whatever this muscle is, bicep?
Oh.
Did I tell you this?
Yes.
I told you?
Yeah.
Like, internally?
Tell it again.
Tell it again?
Tell it again.
My dad was, like, I don't know, it was Halloween. My dad was, like, putting my bike up on, like, a hook in the garage. And the bike fell, like, when he had lifted it, it had slipped out of his grasp, I guess, and the bar of the center of the bike fell onto his bicep and internally snapped the muscle. Mm-hmm. And I guess, like, it curls up.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So he, like, saw it happen and instinctually was just like, oh, I'm just going to push it back down. So he, like, pushes it down. It curls back up because obviously. And he, like, did this a few times, like, trying to push it down, and it wouldn't stay down because he had snapped it into 2 pieces. And, yeah.
That's pleasant. That's a pleasant thought.
He didn't feel pain because, I guess, it snapped it off clean. Like, so if, like, a little bit was, like, still stringing on, he would have felt it because it was, like...
The attachment point.
Fully snapped off. Yeah. So they had a surgery. They, like, pulled it through, like, the other side of his arm.
Dude, I'm so grossed out.
It's so gross.
Oh, my gosh. No, I'm a baby when it comes to pain anymore. I used to have a pretty good pain tolerance, especially when I was in massage therapy school, because I was constantly being massaged by inexperienced noobs. Ugh. Didn't know what they were doing. And trigger point therapy, when we had to learn that hurts like the dickens. And I love trigger point therapy. I will say, I do love that. That is a beautiful type of pain. Bring it on. But now that I'm never touched anymore, I don't like when people touch me. I don't know if my nerves have become super sensitive, but even someone just tapping me on the shoulder, it hurts.
Wow.
It hurts. So my mom does it all the time. We'll be in the car. She'll say something and she'll, get my attention. She'll just lightly smack my shoulder, and it hurts. I've had to tell her, I'm like, Mom, please don't, like, take this in offense. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but can you please try not to tap me? Mm-hmm. Because she takes everything to heart. So she's so sensitive about these things. And I'm like, this is nothing against you. It's physically, it hurts. Don't touch me. And she's always complaining because I don't like to hug her. And it's not that I don't like to hug her. I don't like hugs, period, because physical touch hurts me.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm a baby now, so.
I remember when I lived in Indiana, I was like leaving to come back and live here, and I had like a goodbye party with my friends, and I gave them like a hug goodbye, and my mom overheard them being like, "Yeah, Mary Grace doesn't like hugs. She just kind of stands there."
It's like a handshake with a dead fish kind of thing.
Yeah. Don't like hugs.
No, that's it. I don't like. Cause I'm one of those things with physical affection. People have their way about going about hugs, but it's usually different than how I go about hugs. And then you end up just getting tangled up and it's awkward, and then you don't know how to do.
Well, I hate the initial like.
Are you going up? Am I going down? Like
at all?
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to go for a hug if you're not going for a hug.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how long does it last? How hard do I squeeze? Do I pat the back? That's kind of weird.
I can't tell you how many times I've gone one way just for the person to go the same way, and we're almost kissing. Like, you know what would solve this? Just never hugging again.
Oh, one thing I hated always as a kid was like, oh, give grandma a kiss. No. What do you mean? Because first of all, I don't want to. Second of all, when old people kiss, they don't actually kiss. They just put their faces next to each other and go to the air. That doesn't make any sense.
That's a very Italian thing.
I hate it.
It's very Italian.
Like, you just press your cheek against their cheek. Like
it's that. Italian. I know French does it too. Like the double-sided.
So stupid.
Like, I think that's more like a...
Like that. Why? What's the point? I hate it.
Or the few times that an old person has actually kissed, it's all slobbery. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Why is anybody kissing a baby on the mouth also?
Yeah.
Anybody.
Like, well, I mean, if it's your
No, I still don't get it. I still don't get it.
Mm-mm. Why are we kissing babies at all? That's...
Why are you letting a dog lick your face? I wouldn't.
Ew. Who does that?
Lick your lips?
Ew.
Weird.
Ew.
Really weird.
Ew.
Gross, even.
I would say to each their own, but, like, no.
Don't do that.
Oh, man, that's gross.
Really gross.
Well, your dog was jumping up in my face, going at
She
me.
likes... Yeah, she tries to...
like, be gone.
Kiss people, but, yeah.
It's cute, but no.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
Gross.
Gross.
Tonsil stones are gross.
Really gross.
Take care of that. You got anything
Don't
else?
get your wisdom teeth out.
Well, if you have to.
No, don't.
Just die.
It sucks because I still am sensitive. Like if I'm brushing my teeth and I accidentally hit like that back webbing between
Ew!
You know what I'm talking about? Like your top teeth, your bottom teeth, the connective little muscle in the back there, like when you smile. That back.
Yeah.
If I hit that, ooh! I can sing a song, it hurts so bad.
I could sing a song. Well, I've never experienced that. Knock on wood. I have yet to need my
Your tonsils.
tonsils or my wisdom teeth out, because that's what we're talking about.
You don't get them out.
Well, I heard that like 80% of wisdom teeth removal are not necessary.
I believe that. My sister went to the dentist a few weeks ago. They did an x-ray and they're like, nope, she's good. She doesn't need them out for, like, until she's like my age, whatever.
Usually they're just like, oh, let's go ahead and remove them just because.
Well, then they called the next day and they were like, actually, we're wrong. She needs them out this year. Huh? I don't.
That's a money grab. That's a money grab. 80% are not necessary. They're just going to tell you it is because they want the money. It's expensive.
Yeah, mine were not giving me any problems.
Yeah, that seems silly.
And they're gone.
And people are like, oh, you want to get it done before they start causing problems. Okay, but no.
But what if they don't?
What if they never... I'm 28. I've got 3 of them. No issue.
I've got 3 of them.
I'm hoping I just don't have the 4th.
I wanted to see mine so bad.
Give me my teeth.
They're probably...
mic down, mic down.
They're probably in a million pieces.
That's disgusting. I would gladly keep mine in my head. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Lifesaver. What?
I remember when I was a kid, I was in 2nd grade. We went to some hospital as like a field trip. And they were like, okay, we're going to do like a demonstration on what it's like to have your tonsils out. and I volunteered, and they like had me lay down in like a gown with like a hairnet, and pretended to like. They didn't actually like pretend to. They were just like, okay, we're gonna put you to sleep, and then you're gonna have your tonsils out, and then
We're gonna put you to sleep, punch you right in the face.
there's like a picture of me with like a hairnet on, and I'm like, they put like a fake mask on me. I remember it was a blast, and I felt like a star. They were like rolling me around on like a bed.
You know what's so weird? When I was a kid, I don't know where it came from, why we had it, how we managed to get it, but we had like a child-size mask.
A gas mask?
Like a gas mask. But it wasn't, there was no,
Nothing
it was just the
connected to it?
mask. There was nothing connected to it. It was just the mask part of it.
That's good.
And I remember always loving it and like putting it over my face because the plastic part of it, like the rubbery plastic part
The
that
pressure?
forms around your face, it smelled really sweet. It smelled like whatever gas was used at one point. It was very, very good. And I would just walk around with this gas mask on my face because it smelled so
Why
good.
did you have
I
that?
don't know where it came from, why we had it. No idea. No idea where the rest of it went, but we just had this mask.
That's actually so weird.
So weird, right?
I miss having just weird things that I played with as a kid.
You know what
I
else
love
was
cardboard
weird?
Boxes.
So, do you know old recliner chairs?
Yeah.
How there was like the flap. It was like just this
The
cardboard
foot part?
No, not the foot part. Like on the sides, it would have like almost kind of a fabric covered cardboard piece just to keep from all the
Yeah.
mechanics underneath being seen.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ripped off of a chair one time or something, but we just had this fabric covered piece of cardboard, right? Me and my brother, we would fight over that.
What?
It was our surfboard.
I miss being a
And
kid.
we would take that and we would put it was just on the floor and we would just literally stand on it and we were surfing. The imagination of children is wild.
One time I almost drowned because I put floaty, like, you know, pool floaties, like, for your arms. I put them on my feet because I thought I could stand on the water. But you know what happens when your feet are floating but your head isn't? I'm right upside down, feet to the sky. I almost died. Don't do that.
That is so funny. Oh yeah, I mean that's awful.
It made sense. In my
It
head.
reminds me of have you seen Ever After? The greatest Cinderella story ever. Do you know how many Cinderella story movies there are? You've got the one with Hilary Duff, a Cinderella
The one with
story.
Selena Gomez.
You've got another Cinderella story with that one. You've got the singing one with Lucy Hale. You've got this one, that one, and the other one. You've got so many Cinderella stories. I'm sorry, nothing will ever beat Drew Barrymore's Ever After.
I don't know that one.
It is perfection. It is so, so good. That is the Cinderella you want to watch, folks. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Her name
do we
also
get- how do
is
we get
Danielle.
here?
So booyah.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's actually beautiful. And in that one, Danielle is swimming in a lake, just enjoying her free time, just having a ball. And Leonardo da Vinci walks up on the
Vinci?
water. Da Vinci. Because it takes place in way back when. That time.
Okay.
Da Vinci walks up with his like little boat shoes. He made like boat shoes to walk on water. And she's just floating there. She's got her eyes closed. She's just floating around and everything. He walks in and he's like, it's a beautiful day for a swim. And she's like, ah! Freaks out because he's standing over her in the middle of the water.
Oh my god.
Oh, that movie is so fantastic. And the beautiful thing is, she saves herself.
Nice.
The prince comes. Don't get me wrong. He comes. He tries to save her, but she already did it. She walks out. She's like, what are you doing here? He's like, I've come to rescue you. She's like, I'm good. I did that. We're good.
I've never heard of this movie.
So good. I have it on DVD. You want to watch it? Let's watch it. So good. It's my favorite.
I have it on
It's so
DVD.
cheesy. It's so beautiful. It's like the type of cheesy that is allowed to be cheesy because of how beautiful it is. So yeah, I love it. It's great.
Do DVDs, like, are they something I should invest in?
I do.
Like, do they last a long time if you take good care of them?
Oh yeah.
Because I want to get, like, Drake and Josh on DVD.
I would say yeah.
Just so I can
Especially
have it
because of how
forever.
fickle the streaming services are.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'm not going, because right now Avatar is on Netflix, but it wasn't always on Netflix, and
Right.
it won't always be on Netflix. But I'll have the DVDs. I'm good to go. I don't need to search it. I don't need to buy another streaming site that it hops over to or something. I'm good. Anywho, so yeah, I totally would invest in DVDs.
I want to bite on a VHS case. Hungry for some VHS case.
You know I have a notebook that is the casing.
Oh, yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Oh, yeah. If you want to come over, you can bite it anytime.
That's all yours to
So
chew
weird.
on.
Okay. Now that we... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You did not just do that. I do like Another Cinderella Story with
Okay.
Selena Gomez. It's a good movie.
I'm sorry. Okay. Now I have to relabel those because now this is a new recording and it's going to be super confusing because I just have recording 4, 5, and 6 and they're all... So that's going to be confusing. Okay, sorry. I unplugged the cord and now we had to start again. Okay. I almost choked. Choked on my own spit. Now that we've I've made myself nervous. I want to talk about something, now that we've talked about a bunch of random nonsense, I actually want to talk about something a little more serious that has been on my heart and mind for a little while. And to start off with, if you're okay with that. You good with that?
I don't even know where this is going.
I'm going to take over here for
Take
yet
it.
again.
Take it.
It's the Danielle Show. So, I want to talk about something that, like I said, has been on my heart and mind. But to do that, I have to give a little bit of context. And I've made myself nervous. Sorry. It's not a big deal. It's nothing bad. Anyway, when I was a kid, I had this friend from elementary school. Forever. And she was like my best friend. But when we got to like middle school or high school, we started getting into our own lives, getting into our own things. And she kind of, I felt like I was her friend of convenience.
Okay.
I was like a number friend to her. She just had to have lots of friends and everything. And I was just I was still her friend just because she needed more friends kind of thing.
Okay.
And she just started treating me like as a side character and only, like I said, as a friend of convenience. And just, I don't know how to put it. The friendship was not good anymore. And I started to resent her. I was bitter toward her. And then when we graduated, she invited me over to like a girls' night graduation, not quite a graduation party, but it was for like the friend group that we had. And she's showing us all the pictures and all the photo boards that she put together to take with her to college. And in several pictures, she had actually cropped me out of them. And she's showing them to everybody as I'm standing right there. And I can see that she's cropped me out of them. And it was just one of those things that like kind of just nail in the coffin. Like, I'm done with this person. Like,
Right.
obviously I'm not an actual friend to her anymore. I don't know where it all went wrong, but it hasn't been good for a long time. And I've held resentment and bitterness toward her for all these years. But just the other day, I was sitting down to do my Bible study in the morning, and each morning, like when I start to get prepared to do my Bible study, I just start to pray, open the line of communication with God, and sometimes it's just by reciting like the Lord's Prayer, but then interjecting my own personalized prayers to that. And when you get to the part that says, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, and then I start praying, I'm like, anytime, who have I not forgiven? What have I done that maybe needs forgiving from other people? I pray that those people are able to forgive me. But then any resentment and bitterness that I hold toward other people, like, help me get over that and forgive them. And so she was on my heart and mind, and I was like, I really need to get over this. And then as I'm praying to, figure out how to forgive her, I thought about the time that she came to one of my birthday parties, and she gifted me a stack of old magazines that she had obviously flipped through. They were very old. And it was at that point of our friendship where I had kind of started seeing that she wasn't a really good friend, but she was still a friend, so she was still at my birthday party. And her excuse was that I could use it to make an inspiration board, an inspo board or whatever. Cut out all the pictures and stuff. And I just kept thinking, like, you just handed me a stack of old magazines just because you needed to give me a gift. And I got your scraps and your leftovers and everything. So that kind of came to my mind, and I was like, I'm obviously still holding resentment and bitterness toward her for stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I was praying for trying to forgive her for it. And this is how awesome God works, because like I said, that was the prayer that I opened up this particular Bible study with. And so I started reading, and I was in Exodus, and everybody who has ever read Exodus knows it can be quite a dry and tedious read. But when you read it in its entirety and actually see it for what it is, it can become actually really beautiful. And so this part of Exodus is, I lied, not Exodus, it's Numbers. Numbers is even worse because it's just a bunch of numbers of things. But anyway, this section of Numbers is talking about the different offerings that you give to the Lord for different certain things. And as I'm reading through it, I'm in this study Bible, and it has your different little notes and everything at the bottom. And like I said, I had opened this Bible study with trying to forgive her, this old friend of mine, for just giving me the scraps of her friendship and just literal scraps of a gift kind of thing, and just get rid of that resentment. And the part of this note in my study Bible, and again, this is in Numbers talking about different offerings and sacrifices. This is at the bottom. Any woman considering this overwhelming emphasis on sacrifice will be convicted of the importance of recognizing the holiness of God in contrast to her own sinfulness. Believers are challenged to establish a regular and appointed time to focus upon the Lord. A worthy investment of time and energies, an acceptable gift and not merely leftovers, must be given. These timely and acceptable sacrifices are an aroma pleasing to the Lord. And our obedience, not the sacrifice itself, brings God pleasure. That's what hit me that day. Right after I got done praying for, the ability to forgive this person for treating me with just the scraps of her friendship, I read that. And then it hit me that I've been like, for the past decade, what have I given to God except the scraps of my attention and my time? I haven't even given him that, because honestly, over the last decade, I completely turned my back on God. I was born and raised in the faith, and I was never happier than when I was younger, and my first and foremost, all my attention and my greatest friendship was with Jesus. But when I got to high school and I started a job that people made fun of me for being a goody two-shoes Christian, it really got to me, and I let the ways of the world get to me to the point where I turned my back on God. And it started out with simple little things like talking like my coworkers at the job that they were making fun of me at. I started swearing, and it didn't go from just like swearing here and there. I became worse than a sailor. I swore so much that the coworkers that were making fun, they actually told me I had to calm down. I swore that much. And so it just started with like little things like that. Then I started going to parties, then I started drinking, and then I started doing this and that and the other. And just slowly and surely, I turned my back on the ways of the Lord, turned my back on his friendship and the things that he wanted me to how he wanted me to live. I just turned my back on all of it. And then it got to the point where I resented him. I even hated him at times, because I had fallen so far away from the friendship I had with him that I was miserable. I was depressed. And I've talked about it on here all the time, how miserable and depressed I was, to the point I was extremely, extremely suicidal. Every other thought was that I did not want to be alive anymore. And every morning I would wake up and just not curse God, but I would ask him, like, why are you doing this to me? I do not want to be alive anymore. Why do you keep letting me wake up in the morning? Like, I hate this. I hate you for doing this to me. I don't want this life anymore. Stop. And the only reason I didn't kill myself was because I intellectually knew that it was a sin, and I didn't want to deliberately commit that sin. But I seriously did not want to be alive anymore, and I hated him for making me live. And the depression and just the misery, and it was all because I took back the control. I wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live it. I didn't want to listen to what Jesus had wanted me to do and what he wanted for me. I wanted to do it all myself, and I did it. I did it all myself. But all it got me was misery and depression and just garbage, because I don't know best. And that's the kind of thing, when I read the Bible and it hits me with those certain little things that make me realize what I've done, what I haven't done, what time I have not or have spent with the Lord, it really put into perspective for me, because I was like, I'm still holding on to this resentment towards this girl for giving me scraps of magazine. I don't know what she was going through. I don't know what was in her mind. I don't know what I did to her that, I certainly did things that probably hurt her. And so I hope she can forgive me for that, even though I'm not entirely sure what it is. But the point was that, like, all he asks for is our time, our attention, and our love. what have I been doing the past decade other than completely ignoring him and not even giving him scraps? And this episode is going to be coming out next week. It's the Wednesday before Easter. And so with that coming up, I just kept thinking to myself that Jesus is my best friend. He has never once done anything to hurt me. He's only ever wanted the best for me. And here I am for the past decade having turned my back on him. And so what kind of friend am I to him when he literally gave his life for me? My best friend died for me. And I can't thank him for that. I can't turn toward him and thank him for that and then therefore live for him. He died for me, so I should be living for him and he should be able to live through me. And it just kind of, I don't know, it's put it into a lot of perspective. And again, God works in such incredible ways because the thing that I prayed for is immediately the thing that he answers and he makes and puts into perspective. And so my biggest thing, I know this is all big, long, drawn out. I don't mean to be, but my point is with like the Easter season coming up, I just hope and pray that everyone can take a moment to recognize Jesus for the absolute best friend that he truly is, that he wants nothing but love for you. He wants to be your friend and for you to have him be your best friend because he really is. It sounds silly and childish, but he truly is the best friend you could ever have. And I know after I would get home from work, before I turned my back on him like an idiot, I would go home from work or go home from school and I would sit on our back porch and I would just hang out with him. And people are always like, oh, you need to pray. Like praying is so much more than just like the recitations of, you know, the written out prayers. It's just hanging out with him and just talking with him. And I would sit back on my back porch and I would just talk to him like me and Mary Grace are talking all the time. We just sit and talk and we laugh about the day and the silly things that happened, talk about the things that we planned for the next day. And I would just sit with him and I could physically feel him sitting next to me. Maybe I couldn't see him, but I could physically feel his presence. And it wasn't me just talking at the wind. When I opened my heart and my ears to him, I could actually hear it was a two-way conversation. And again, with the Easter season coming up, recognizing that he gave his life for us and that I want nothing more than to live my life for him so that he can live through me as well. And then biggest thing, my recommendation is to read the Gospels because they are the most incredible, beautiful story of what Jesus did for us. And you have 4 Gospels, 4 different perspectives of the same beautiful person that Jesus is. And if reading the Gospels isn't your thing, then I highly encourage you to watch the Chosen series. Don't just rely on the Chosen series because, you know, the Bible is the number one thing that you should go to. But the Chosen really did light the fire under me as far as getting back to giving my life to God because it made the Bible real in such a way that it hadn't been in so long. And it gives life and personality and reality to the reality of the Bible, which is sometimes hard when you're just reading the words on the page. So the series has really helped bring it to life in a way that hasn't been in a really long time. And like I said, they do such a beautiful job of depicting the different scenarios. So I highly encourage everybody to read the Gospels and get those, you know, the 4 different perspectives of the same beautiful person that God is, especially with it becoming, you know, the time to really thank him for the fact that he did give us, he gave us his life. He died for us so that we might have spiritual life through him and that he might live through us. So I just wanted to talk about that. It's really been on my heart. I wanted to end with that. I don't know if you have anything to say, but no. Okay. All good. Also, really encourage listening to a podcast that I found recently. Girls Gone Bible. It's so cute. But specifically start with the episode that they have a guest star preacher or pastor on there. Erwin Raphael McManus. He was a guest star, and they answered questions that were just really, really amazing that I think a lot of people may have. And that particular episode, to start with, helps clarify a few things that the girls had talked about beforehand, some misconceptions and everything. So I think starting with that, but either way, that entire podcast is so cool. I love it. It's just a great way to kind of get into the mindset and just be able to hang out with Jesus for a little while. So I highly recommend listening to that podcast as well. It's fun. So yeah. Now that we're done listening to me ramble, I think we're good. Yeah? Mary Grace is shaking her head yes. Okay. Okay. There's that. Thanks for listening in. Still don't know how to end these things.
Talk at you next
Talk
week.
at you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Tonsil boulders.
Ooh.
Not just stones.